Happy Sabbath, Shabbat Kodesh, set apart to serve. I want to talk to you all about signs of a childish adult, immature people. And to be specific, I want to talk to those who are dealing with people like maybe in their 30s on up. You know, people today and age, if you're in your 30s, most likely you're acting still like in your 20s. If you're in your 20s, you're still acting like you're in your teens. Your mentality is still teenaging. 30s is still 20-ish, the mentality. When you hit your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and you're still acting like you in your 20s and you're still acting like a teenager, we have a problem. We have a problem because, you know, when we hit certain age in life, we're supposed to gain wisdom. We can't teach people in their 30s and 20s and teens, or either, you know, the little kid. We can't teach them if we don't know nothing, if we don't grow up. We have to grow up. And I've been around people who literally said they don't want to grow up. They don't want to grow up. This person back then was in their 30s. He said, I don't want to grow up. I want to continue to be a kid. At least he was honest, but it was still sad because he had a child. If you don't want to grow up, how could you be more of a father at the mature state with wisdom with a child? How you going to teach a child how to be a man if you don't want to be a man? You know, so, you know, men and women out there, you know, when we hit certain age, we have to ask God, you know, for wisdom along with that age. We have to thank him for how we even reached that age, you know, in the first place. And then we have to pray for wisdom so we can be able to teach those that's behind us in age. I know a lot of people, they don't like to tell their age when they hit certain age. It's getting out of hand. You got 20-some year olds that don't want to, I ain't telling my age. Why not? Hold up. You don't ask no woman how old she is. Oh no, I'd rather not even say. I don't get that. And my assumption, I'm just going by my assumption because they're not going to be honest about why they keep hiding their age. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should be out here spraying your personal information, but what is with this being quick to say, oh, I ain't telling my age. You don't ask no woman her age and all that. Why not? What's illegal about that? But like I said, my assumption is when people do that, it's because they're ashamed that their looks don't fit their age. They're ashamed that they probably look older than what they are, or is it because of their childish ways that don't fit their age? That's what I'm assuming. Because why are you afraid to let someone know how blessed you are to even see your age in the first place? Huh? You ought to be blessed that last night wasn't your last night. Huh? You ought to be blessed that you made it, especially being unwise, especially with being childish, especially with your immature state, that you are at the age you are without wisdom, without godly wisdom. So that's why I never understood why people are afraid to say how old they are. You are afraid to tell someone how God has blessed you to see another year. And like I say, the assumption of that is, I think it's because people are afraid that they don't look their age. They look older than what they are. Or because of their mentality don't meet their age. That's probably what it is. So I'm going to go with that. Moving on. So number one is attention seekers. No one wants to be completely ignored. But overall, adults don't need to constantly have the focus on them the way kids do. Children will get antsy if the adults in the room talk to just each other for too long. They can have such a need to be acknowledged. They can misbehave. When kids see two grown folks in there talking like maybe too long or whatever, because they into it. And if a child sitting back seeing and they realize, hey, wait a minute, y'all talking too long, have gaga Google or hello, and that's normal because that's a kid. You expect that out of them. But when an adult act like that, which I deal with that on a daily basis, I deal with a particular person, who or people, when they see me and someone else talking, and the conversation can be deep, laughter, whatever, and they not involved in the conversation, but yet make a big fuss and just join on in, or either try to diffuse one of us to stop the conversation to tend to them. That's what they do. While two people are talking, another grown idiot cuts in without even saying excuse me, I apologize. They cuts right in to cut our conversation and put the attention on them. Especially when the conversation is juicy, they see it, they hear it or whatever, and they're assuming that, oh, I'm not a part of that. They might be talking about me. I don't know, but I'm finna cut this. So yeah, the attention seeker. They can have such a need to be acknowledged that can be misbehaved, to at least get unpleasant attention over none at all. Immature adults can have that same mentality where they feel uneasy if the conversation isn't centered on them, and sometimes act out to regain the spotlight. That's number one. Number two, you are childish when you are seeking validation. Yeah, validation seekers out there. Children like constant encouragement and praise. Think of how they can be motivated at school by gold star stickers. Adults enjoy validation, of course, but they're better at operating without a constant supply of it. Mature adults enjoy validation, of course, but they're better at operating without a constant supply of it. Less mature people still need a steady hit. They fish for compliments. They make social media posts to get pats on the back. They may be in a serious relationship but still flirt all the time because they can't give up the rush of knowing someone's into them. That's number 2 on the list. Now, number 3. Immature people values priorities. A childish adult is an immature person who seeks values and priorities. Placing too much importance on fitting in and peer acceptance. Doing things like neglecting their career so their go nowhere buddies will still accept them. You know somebody like that? I know a lot of people like that. I've known a lot of people like that. Doing things like neglecting their career so their go nowhere buddies will still accept them. I've known people who called off, didn't want to work, cut in between the working the jobs just to go hang out with people who ain't up to nothing, just so they can still fit in. So they can still fit. Moving on. Valuing physical toughness and looking to get into a bunch of fights. Now, valuing physical toughness and looking to get into a bunch of fights. Someone who think they tough. Someone who work out, you know what I'm saying? Someone who may take up fighting lessons, karate, boxing, and someone of that. A stupid bully who thinks because they fit it well, they can't be moved physically. I had to throw that in there because I've come across people like that too. So yeah, unfortunately, we have grown idiots who do this, valuing physical toughness and looking to get into a bunch of fights. Yeah, we talking about grown adults who act childish. Now, this is in the same category of values and priorities from an immature person. Being excessively hedonistic. There's nothing wrong with going through a phase when you're younger where you just want to party and hook up all the time. But most people would think you've got some maturing to do if you're still acting that way at 45. Being oblivious about your health. Eating mostly junk food, not exercising, drinking too much, and etc. Maturity doesn't mean having to be an uptight health freak, but most adults don't eat fast food and candy for every meal either. Let's grow up, people. Number 4, immature approach to relationships. Childish adult signs. Immature approach to relationships. Let's go. Making premature excessive commitments. I was guilty of that once before when I was dating. I'm guilty of that, but that was then. I've grown up by now. Yeah, I'm teaching this now. Making premature excessive commitments. Quickly escalating their relationships. Think of how 2 kids can decide they're best friends after playing together for an hour. Just think of that. Playing games rather than being direct. Pretending to be busy. Pretending to be busy after a really great second date because they don't want to seem too eager. Now, of course, after we've gone out with someone and we had a fantastic time with this person, but we don't want to seem thirsty by calling them and see, look, I had a nice time with you. When can we go out again or whatever? Yeah, unfortunately, when you have 2 immature people, that's gonna go sour anyway because the immature person may not feel that they want to call that person because they don't want to sound too eager, and the other immature person on the side may feel that if they call them that they are thirsty, so they probably on the other end thinking the other same thing. So she not gonna call, he not gonna call because they both idiots and they think they both thirsty. Instead of being 2 mature adults about having a nice time and calling each other or hoping that they can hear the call or receive a call from the person, and they can both continue on throughout the relationship or the dating thing or whatever, and appreciate each other's company instead of playing games. See, that's what people go through. That's why that's the first sign that it may go sour anyway. If you had a nice time with someone and you like, I ain't calling her or I ain't calling him because I'm gonna seem like I'm thirsty. Look, if that's how you feel about some person, call them and let them know. Now, if they brush off like, oh man, you thirsty, well, that still mean that it ain't meant for you. Because if he or she acting like that, then there you go. They got insecurity issues. They the ones who's really thirsty, but they in their mind, I don't want to seem like that. So if you call, they gonna take you for that because that's what they was thinking about not doing in the first place because they want you to think that way. I hope I'm not getting it twisted, but I hope y'all getting what I'm saying. It's just stupid. These are adults we talking about, not kids and teenagers. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat that again. Playing games rather than being direct. Pretending to be busy after a really great second date because they don't want to seem too eager. Feeling insecure and fragile about their relationships. Getting clingy or jealous easily. Think of a child who feels threatened and competitive because their dad gives the neighbor's kid a minute of attention. Moving on. This is number 5 coming up. Immature approach to conflict. Number 5. Immature approach to conflict. Focusing on winning or being right in a disagreement instead of trying to come to a mutual understanding or solve a problem together. Playing dirty in order to win an argument, like denying they said something that undermines their point or attacking the other person's character. Resorting to childish insults. Hating to be corrected, not being able to admit when they're wrong, doubling down instead. Being passive aggressive instead of handling a problem directly. Example, acting moody to punish their friend for canceling on them at the last second. Stupidity like that. Holding onto grudges. Oh, I've been through that. And people may think I've done it when someone wicked may come at me disrespectful, and I don't think I'm holding a grudge when someone disrespects me, and I decide to just not be bothered with them no more and cut ties with them and just don't be bothered with them. They look at it as I'm holding a grudge, but I'm not. You just show me what type of person you are, so I just decided not to have no dealings with you. I decided to cut ties with you. But holding a grudge on someone, if somebody did something that wasn't wrong or that wasn't disrespectful, they just didn't like it. Like when you tell someone, no, I don't have it, and they probably know you got it or they'll assume you got it, and just because you said no to them, they mad at you. And because they mad at you, they holding a grudge against you. They mad. They don't want to be bothered with you now because you said no to them. See, it's a difference in not having dealings with someone who disrespected you and cutting ties with them than you just being mad at somebody because they said something that you didn't expect them to say, like no, or you didn't feel like going out with them, or it's a difference. So holding on to grudges is in a negative state. Holding a grudge is negative anyway. The next one down here in the same category of immature approach with conflict is getting caught up in petty rivalries. Alrighty then. Now, moving down. So you are childish if you have impulsive tendencies. If you are an impulsive person. This number 6. Impulsive people can't stay firm on their decision. They keep tossing their decisions back and forth according to their mood. Sometimes they change their decision within a few minutes. This makes them look unprofessional, not committed to work, disinterested, or immature. You are impulsive. That's what makes you immature, a childish adult. When you keep tossing your decisions back and forth according to your mood. 1 minute you're mad at this person, so you're going to cut their hours. And then a day or two later, get back. Well, what you do it for if you're not going to stand firm on what you believe that you should have done in the first place? Why you do it? I'm going to fire this person, and then 2 minutes later, I'm gone. Or either justifying why the person is not there no more and saying that they can come back. Okay, well, you didn't fire them then if they can come back. Well, no, they want to go. It's like, just shut up. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. An impulsive person is a person who just keep tossing and turning their decisions. They not firm with their decisions. They don't just put their foot down. They 1 minute saying yes, and then another minute no, and 1 minute no, another minute they're going on and just do it. So that's someone who people just don't even mind. He or she gonna let up anyway, so we not gonna pay that person no mind. Number 7. Childish adult is irresponsible. Another sign of a childish, immature adult is being irresponsible. One who is irresponsible with his duties, work, and life is always marked as an immature person. One who is mature can never run from his duties and responsibilities. That goes with even just with work. I know we have co-workers who get irritated easily and leave their duties for somebody else to do it because they don't have the heart and the courage and probably the man or the ability to finish the duty. They just boldly just walk off the site and just leave it for somebody else. And the bold thing about being that type of stupid employee, they don't even tell people that they're leaving the area. They just leave it, and for somebody to come back and hope that they didn't get it done or finished, and then see that it's a mess and that it didn't cause the backup for everybody else's job to be completed. You know what I'm saying? Or it can also go for deadbeat dads. Yeah, deadbeat dads, irresponsible mothers who don't take care of their kids. So yeah, one who is mature can never run from their duties and responsibilities. An immature person would. Irresponsible, such as not being serious about a career, don't have goals in life, not taking responsibilities for self and family, or spends irresponsibly without thinking of earning. You are lazy. If you are lazy, miserable, and ignorant about your life, work, and family responsibilities, people will judge you as an immature person. And these type of person always wonder why don't nobody want to be their friend, don't nobody want to talk to them at work and all this, because you are a proven lazy, irresponsible grown person. Alrighty then. Number 8. You are highly egoistic. You are highly egoistic. Overtly egoistic people are hard to get along with because they are self-focused and sound selfish. Word ego itself means I in Latin language, where it originates. Because of high ego, they feel hurt and insulted easily if something happens against their will. So if you come across someone who has this tendency right here, this egoistic issue, then you know they are a childish, immature, grown person. Alrighty then. Number 9. Childish, immature people don't have an opinion. You are too passive and don't have opinions about good and bad things happening around you. You are not taking an active part in decision making at work and in life. You are highly agreeable in all situations and find it hard to say no. That kind of goes back to the impulsive reaction. This behavior makes you a low value person. Yes, sir. In other words, after some time, people start taking you lightly because you are immature for them. Mature people have a firm opinion about things happening around them. They have the guts to say no when needed. I know that was a long one, but I'm gonna repeat it. A childish, immature person, grown person, don't have opinions, don't have them. They not firm with their opinions. They are passive and don't have opinions about good and bad things happening around them. You are not taking an active part in decision making at work and in life. You are highly agreeable in all situations and find it hard to say no. I'm dealing with people like that every day at work. Every day at work. This behavior makes you a low value person. You have to understand the key words of what I'm saying. You can't be in this high position and always expect somebody to respect you because of your position. You don't deserve that position. Let me just throw it out there. Just because people have been wishy-washy down with their positions, that don't mean that you deserve it. Hallelujah. That don't mean that you deserve it. That don't mean that you fit for that position. It doesn't mean that you even earned that position. That don't mean that you earned that badge, that shirt, that hat, that vehicle to drive for the company. We don't know what you done did. The company could have been desperate. You could have slept with someone. You could have made a bet in the loan and a deal with someone. We don't know. But if the qualities for that position don't fit you, you don't get respect. You don't get it. You can't say respect me because I got the badge. Respect me because I'm the manager. Man, please. This behavior makes you a low value person. In other words, after some time, people start taking you lightly because you are immature for them. You're an idiot with that badge. You're an idiot with that shirt. Mature people have a firm opinion about things happening around them. They have the guts to say no when needed. Number 10. You are childish as an adult when you are jealous and envious. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Jealousy and envy also make you look immature as a person. Jealousy makes a person competitive, which ultimately leads to anger and rage. Jealousy makes you look like a person of low self-esteem and feminine and childish. A jealous man is the perfect example of an immature man. People often subconsciously hesitate to trust jealous people because a jealous person can betray them anytime to win over others. Number 11. Victim mentality makes you an immature person. This is for somebody out there. This is for somebody out there. This is the last one, number 11. Victim mentality makes you an immature person. Dun, 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 dun. Victims are, by default, immature people. Victims let people play with them, let people take advantage of them, and never try to fight back against people using them, but they keep complaining in their absence. Victims are weak, cowardly, and with low self-esteem. Victims keep complaining about how people play with them and how other people are taking advantage of them, but never raises their voice against it and keeps falling into the same trap again and again. I wish I could read. You know what? I'm going to read it the way it's written. Let me go back to this one right here. This is the paragraph right here. This for somebody out there. Victims keep complaining about how people play with them and how other people are taking his advantage, but he never raises his voice against it and keeps falling into the same trap again and again. That was for somebody. Victim mentality is common in both males and females, but found more in women. Victims are often judged as immature people, immature people. I can actually go on and on with these lists. I can go on and on about immature childish adults. It's annoying, it's obnoxious, it's irritating. You can't do nothing about it, you know what I'm saying, but either not deal with these people or either ignore them. It's annoying, it's obnoxious, and these people for the most part are not going to change, unfortunately. So before I close, I want to leave with a scripture. I want you all to turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11. It reads, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways." Got another one. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 20. "Brothers and sisters, do not be children in your thinking. Be infants in evil. But in your thinking, be mature." 1 Corinthians 13:11. 1 Corinthians 14:20. Look it up.